What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of a Quarantine Kitchen Quick Fix. Today, we are going to be making rice milk. I will be using brown rice. I'm deciding to make my own plant-based milk, or at least try it, because unless you're drinking soy... Sorry, my washing machine's running and it's super loud. Because if you don't drink dairy milk, especially here in Brazil, other alternative milks are very expensive. To give you an example, dairy milk here in a box, so long shelf life milk, there's a name for it, costs about $2.50. And that's for a liter. So we're going to go liter to liter. Then the next option that is a milk alternative would be soy milk, which costs about $7 a liter. 7 reais a liter, actually, but for my American listeners, about $7 a liter. Then the next one is almond milk, and then you have oat milk and rice milk, which all come about the same price, which are about 16 to 17 reais a liter. So I'm trying to cut down the amount of soy in my life, just because it's highly processed. There's a lot of confusing science about it. I don't drink it every day, so it's not a big issue. There's a waterfall in my kitchen. Okay, now that it's decided to calm down. So milk is very expensive, and I have a lot of brown rice at the moment, so I'm going to try to make my own, especially because I don't use it all the time. I don't eat cereal. If I use it, it's only used for baking. So that's the goal for today. We're going to try to make our own recipe. And it's pretty simple. It calls for 3 ingredients: water, brown rice, and then a sweetener or flavoring of some kind. I'm going to be using medjool dates today, only 2 of them, and our goal is to make about a liter of this rice milk. So we need 1 cup of cooked rice. That means all together it's 1 cup of cooked rice. I say that because I attempted this recipe earlier, and it was a total and utter fail, because I thought it was a cup of raw rice, not a cup of cooked rice. And so the mixture came out so thick. It was really gross, actually. It was like super thick and just creamy, and it was not what I was hoping for. So we're going to try the recipe the right way this time. And to make 1 cup of cooked rice, it's usually about 1/3 of a cup, because rice tends to double or triple in size. So I'm going to go somewhere between 1/3 and 1/2 cup of rice to make the liter of milk, wherever it happens to land. That's actually about 1/3 dead on. We'll go just a head more. Okay. So somewhere around between 1/3 and 1/2 cup of rice, depending on the size of your bottle. My bottle is only 900 ml, and then I've got a 200 ml bottle for coconut milk. But should be fine, because we're going to lose a lot of the moisture in the cooking process. Okay, so if I'm using 1/2 cup of rice, I need to use a cup of water. It's 2 to 1 when cooking rice. I'm actually going to end up using more, because this brown rice takes a lot to process. It takes a lot to break down. But I'm going to start with a cup and then add as I need to. So we're going to add a cup of water and put it on the stove to cook. We're going to cook it until the moisture has cooked down. It's still watery, but not there. Take it off the heat and then let it absorb the water. When it's done that, then we're ready to make the milk. All right, the rice is finished. So now we're going to combine everything into the blender. And we're going to make the milk. For sweetener, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm going to be using 2 medjool dates. So I'm going to cut them in half and pull out the seed. In case you've never seen one, this is what a date looks like. But I imagine if you're watching how to make rice milk, you probably have seen a date before. I don't know. Who knows? They're very popular in the Middle East. When I was in Dubai, I used to make them all the time. Make dates? Use dates all the time. Okay, so we have the 1 cup of cooked rice going in. scraping on my cookware. Okay. Then we have the 2 dates, 4 cups of water, and then we're going to take this to the blender and we're going to blend it until it's smooth. After it's smooth, then we're going to strain it and put it into the bottle, but I'll be back for that process. So now it's to the blender we go. Cute. No, so now it is smooth, nice and liquidy. The batch was so bad, you guys. Fail. I'm going to move the blender out of your way. I'm going to be using my little pot and a cheesecloth to strain the mixture through, because what happens is the rice got really broken up and there's pieces of the date, and you just don't want all of that in your milk. I'm probably going to strain it twice. It depends on how this strain goes versus the last one, so we'll see. Oh, this is so much better than the last batch. The last batch, it was like almost like cream of rice, and I had to like push it through. And then I was like, I have to be wrong. Something has gone wrong here. Something's gone horribly, terribly wrong. I don't think I'm going to have to push this through the cloth. I think if I do, it won't be very much. What I mean by that is when you pour the mixture on, but I can actually hear it pouring through the cheesecloth. So all that means is that at the end, I'll have to grab it up like this and kind of squeeze it. That's it. But I don't think I'll have to because it seems to be going through almost perfectly this time. It's amazing what happens when you use the right recipe. So this is going to take a minute. And you've seen, I don't know if you actually saw how to do that. Grab it up and squeeze it through, just like they do in all the cauliflower videos. So I'm going to pour this through off camera because it's going to take a minute. And then after the first strain, we're going to strain it one more time and then put it into the bottle. Okay, so I'm down to like the very end of the blender. This is where most of the sediment is. So I'm going to pour this and squeeze out the liquid. Then we're going to go and do the double strain, which is like literally the same thing. Sorry. Yeah, this is so much better than the last batch. So I don't expect, you can see the liquid running off of it. So this is where most of the sediment is, where most of the broken rice and stuff is. So I don't expect to get a lot of liquid, but I wanted to show you again how to push it through the cheesecloth when you get to that stage. Okay, so then let me show you what's left. There you go, like a big rice ball. Now, if you wanted to, you could probably use this for like tapioca pudding. I'm not going to because I don't like brown rice milk, hence the reason we're making the rice milk out of the brown rice. So now I'm going to rinse my cheesecloth, fold it over, and do a second strain, and I'll be right back to show you. Okay, I've rinsed out my blender because that's I'm going to do this. I'm just going to show you. It actually is looking really good in terms of texture, so that makes me happy. The other batch was just, it's like, you know that the paper mache goo that you get? That's what it was looking like because I like tripled the amount of rice that was required. You know what? I'm not perfect, guys. I mean, I probably should have caught that one on camera, but. So, okay, I've taken my cheesecloth. I had it out like this for the first strain. It was just a single sheet. Now I'm going to fold it over as a double. This is just a final, a finer strain to get everything through. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to pour all the liquid from the blender into here, hopefully catching most of any sediment. Then after that, it'll go into the bottle. So we'll start that, and then I'll turn off the camera so you don't have to watch. Takes a while. Actually, it really doesn't. When you do it properly, the whole procedure has taken like, what, 20 minutes? And it'll make about a liter of rice milk. So, okay, anyway, that's all I'm doing. I'm just going to let it strain and push it through like I did last batch. But this time it's going through 2 layers of cheesecloth, so it should catch more of the sediment, and only the liquid should remain. So, okay. All right, we're now to the point of putting it into the bottle. I'm going to use a funnel because I don't trust myself. I'm reusing a plastic bottle. Fun fact, for removing labels on plastic bottles, a fantastic natural Gooby Gone is coconut oil. So sometimes when labels get stuck, they have like that sticky residue, the glue that doesn't want to come off even with hot water. A little bit of coconut oil rubbed on there, it acts as a mild abrasive, and it really does, it takes it right off. So, okay, so this is what the rice milk is looking like. I can't tip it too much or I'll pour it all over my computer. And then we're really just transferring it. Now, I can't promise we got all of the sediment out of there, but here's the thing, it will never be perfect. And the sediment will eventually soak to the bottom. So, after all that, we have about 4 cups, or about 1 liter. It's not quite a liter, actually, but it is about 4 cups worth of homemade rice milk. So, there we go. All right, it's not a cute color, but I did use brown rice, so that's why it looks like that. If you use white rice, obviously it'll be whiter. And so I'm going to try the rice milk and see how I like it. If it's something that doesn't work, then I will switch to oat milk, which is something I know I like. And I'll make a video for that as well for people who don't like the rice milk. So there we go. Thank you for watching. Happy cooking, everybody.